You're listening to the Boat Galley Podcast, tips, reviews, and how-tos for your cruising adventure. I'm Nika Waters, and this is Fit to Sail. This episode of the Boat Galley Podcast is sponsored by Infinity, the most trusted name in woven vinyl flooring in the marine industry. Since 2008, Infinity has offered boat owners premier flooring options proven to withstand even the most demanding environments. Each of their products is equipped with UV-stable fade resistance and antimicrobial technology, giving them both durability and style that can't be matched. Thinking about kicking carpet to the curb? Make the switch to Infinity and see the difference true luxury makes. Use the coupon code PODCAST for 50% off samples. Slow down, slow down. Sometimes when you look at a boat, all you can see is the gorgeous gleaming woodwork. And I have to tell you, varnish is one of those things that people love or they hate. Hi, I'm Nika Waters, and welcome to the Boat Galley Podcast. I'm going to tell you 3 reasons I love Varnish Day on today's episode. One of the things that people ask us anytime they see our boat for the first time, they look up and they see this 45-foot high, gorgeously varnished wooden mast. And they ask us, do you have a wooden boat? No, we don't have a wooden boat. And I wouldn't want a wooden boat, but I do love how our mast looks. And if you're looking at an older boat, one of the things you might be excited about is seeing this gorgeous, gleaming, beautiful varnish work. Somehow it seems so boaty, so piratey, so part of what you're after when you're thinking about life on a boat. Varnish definitely has its challenges. It's hard to get the finish right. It's hard to prep it right. The endless sanding, the endless wiping down with tack cloths. What do I love about Varnish Day on my mast? Let me tell you, I've got 3 reasons I love going up there and taking care of the varnish. The thing with having a wooden mast is that you've got to put a coat of varnish on it at least once a year, if not twice. The last time we had the mast down, we stripped it down to bare wood, clean it off, prep the whole thing. I think we put like 12 coats of varnish on to build up the base coat of varnish, because what varnish does is it seals the wood, it protects the wood, but varnish also has UV inhibitors in it, so it stops any sun from going in and causing rot on the mast. But you have to go up at least once a year to check for dings, to make sure that there aren't any cracks in the varnish where moisture can get in and then cause the wood to rot, because that's the last thing that you want in a mast, is that it rots. One day, Jeremy was off teaching sailing to the kids, and I thought, this is a job that needs to be done. I bet I can do it myself. We have a pretty cool mast climbing rig that allows me to haul myself, me or Jeremy, it allows one of, or the kids, whoever, it allows one of us to haul ourselves up the mast without somebody else tailing a winch. It's a 6-to-1 purchase, and you haul it up on a halyard and you sit in your bosun's chair, and then you can pull yourself up without a whole lot of effort. In order to do this, you get all the things you need ready. You get your varnish ready, you get your sandpaper ready, you get your alcohol or whatever it is you're going to use to clean it. You get a brush to clean things off. You get all your brushes, you get your can opener, you get some paper towels and some things that are ready to go. You get your safety harness on so you can clip yourself in. We've got a kind of a double system. The bosun's chair would be pretty hard to slide out of, but I also when I haul myself up, I actually wrap the safety harness around the mast so that if I fall, I can't really fall too far. I wouldn't want to fall. It would not be fun, but I'm not going to fall all the way to the deck. So what happens is I haul myself up the mast, I sand going up and I varnish coming down, and I can do that it's about a 3-hour trip all told. 3 things that I love about going up the mast. Number 1, it gives me a chance to inspect the mast for any nicks, scrapes, or things that I might not find otherwise. Every time I'm up there, I inspect the fittings around the mast where the spreaders go. I inspect the ends of the spreaders. I look at the varnish that's on the top of I look at the varnish that's on the underside of the spreader, and then the paint that's on the top of the spreaders. It's a great way to do it, and it would be really hard to do it if I weren't going up the mast every year. It's an easy way to do it, to combine those two things. I'm Sanding going up, inspecting everything, and then I varnish coming down. So that's number one, is that it gives me a chance to have an up close and personal look at the mast, which I probably wouldn't do otherwise. Another thing that I love to do when I'm up there is I love talking to people who are walking by and having them take a while to figure out where my voice is coming from. It's kind of a hoot. They can't quite figure out where the voice is coming from, so they look around for a while and then we get to have a cool conversation. It's really fun to be up the mast. People don't expect you to be up taking care of your mast. They are used to seeing people go up a mast, take care of one small thing, and come down. And I'm spending a good 3 hours total by the time all is said and done, going up and then coming back down. And the third thing, which I never ever would have thought possible, given that I feel like I'm scared of heights, but I love the view from the top of the mast. I'm higher than the birds. I'm higher than the trees. And yeah, our mast isn't super tall at 45 feet off the water, but I still can see incredible amounts. What are the tough parts about varnishing the mast? Well, the thing is, when you're at the top of the mast, any wave motion that's on the water you're at the top of an arc. And so if your boat starts to roll, you're at the top of that. So it might not be that much of a roll on deck, but it's going to be a lot more exaggerated on the top of the mast. Okay, I hold on. My knees get a really great workout, my inner thighs, because I'm clenching the mast as I'm going up. I'm sanding the whole time going up. So I sand. I wish you could see me right now as I'm recording this podcast, because I'm pretending that I'm in my bosun's chair sanding going up. So I sand and I tuck the sandpaper around and then I haul myself up. And then when I get to the top, I wipe down all the stuff that has been done. I don't wipe down as I'm going up, because when I wipe it down, sometimes I can't see the scratches and the sanding that I've done. So I wait till I get to the top of the mast. And then as I'm starting to come down, what I do is I reach down and I wipe down all of the varnish, all of the sanded varnish, and then I apply the new coat of varnish. That way I can tell the difference between what I've varnished and what I haven't. I spend quite a bit of time moving myself around the mast to make sure I haven't missed anything. And then I let myself down a few more feet. The other thing that's pretty cool about varnishing a mast as opposed to varnishing something that's at eye level is that once you get up kind of past about the 6 foot mark, people aren't really looking to see what the varnish looks like. They can see that it's beautiful, they can see that it's shiny, but they're not inspecting it the way they might. And you know what? You as a person doing it, you're not inspecting it for runs and gaps and worries about that. You just want to make sure you have a really good cover on the mast. And so it's kind of cool. It's a fun way to varnish without having to be so stressed out about what the final finish actually looks like. But there are 3 things that I love about Varnish Day, and I guess maybe there's a 4th, but the 3 are that I get to inspect my entire mast, top to bottom. Actually, I guess it's bottom to top and then top to bottom, because I can look at it twice. And if there's something that needs fixing, I can catch it right away. We get to do this at least once a year. Sometimes we do put a second coat on in the fall, but it's a part of our spring project. The second thing is I love kind of confusing people when they're walking by and I talk to them and then they try to find out where I am and it takes them a minute. I guess maybe diabolical that way. And then the third thing is the view from up top is totally incredible. And the added bonus is I've gotten there myself. I've set the whole thing up. I got the stuff out of the lazarette. I got it all set up. I made sure I had the safety things done. I got all the things that I needed to get for the project. I went up, I took care of the project, I came down, and voila, it's work that I could do all by myself. That's kind of cool. There you go. 3 reasons I love Varnish Day. Tell me, do you like to varnish? Have you varnished before? What's your favorite kind of varnish? Now that might be opening up an entire can of worms because everybody's got their favorite kind of varnish. But I'm asking, and I'd love to hear from you. I hope you have the most spectacular day, and I can't wait to see you out there, and we can trade varnish tips. Thanks for listening. If you like the show, please be sure to subscribe in your podcast app. Just search for the Boat Galley Podcast, and reviews are always appreciated. Until next time, then. Slow down, slow